Hello, my name's Tim, and I'm going to take you through some of my shareware games from the early '90s. This is a bit of a bygone era. The days, pre-internet, even pre-CD-ROM, where the only way to get things onto your computer was via one of these 3.5-inch floppy disks. So you either had to have friends who had something and were willing to share, or you went to a store, tried to find one of these racks that had all these titles. And you'll see the store, little label says the computer software store. There's a little stickers here saying special export edition. What's under that? It actually says the $5 computer software store. So in the US, people paid $5, but when they exported them and people's margins and things, I ended up paying about $20 for each title. But back in those days, there wasn't much else to do, so each thing normally felt like it was worth it. And as you see here, you've got your title, your artwork, your little requirements of what you needed. Like this one, it says you need a 286 or better, VGA monitor, 640K of RAM, high density drive, and hard drive. So sort of helped me to learn about computers a little bit, what my computer at home had and what it didn't. And he has his actual screen, so here's like a bit of a gameplay screen, and here's just some of the narrative here. So this game here was actually quite big on its plot. Had some good plot twists, and at times I'd be sort of kind of rushing through the missions just to get back and sort of see where the plot was going next and its plot twists. I ended up playing this quite a bit, and later I went back to I think later managed to find the other episodes just to sort of see where the story ended up. Really enjoyed this game. Yeah, and then over the back, all you had was just a small paragraph. So just imagine the only thing you've seen about it is possibly 3 screenshots, maybe a bit of artwork and a paragraph, and that's all you got to decide if you want to spend a bit of money on shareware. But those were the days. Next one we have here is a Raptor, Call of the Shadows. See, it's sort of a top-down shooter. You're sort of a plane. You've got waves of, well, not waves. You just sort of the screen's slowly scrolling up, and there's just kind of waves of enemies sort of coming down at you and across and things. There's a lot of these days mobile games that look similar to this, but in my opinion, are sort of all inferior. Of course, this one's had its re-release on Steam recently. Well, when I say recently, a few years ago. Really enjoyed this game. Yeah. And then here we go. One Must Fall 2097. You'll actually see here it's by Epic Mega Games, as they used to be called. Now, I didn't really play many fighter games back then, but really enjoyed this one. It was sort of easy to pick up. Had your various upgrades, and the boss was a bit rough. Now this one's actually out on Freeware these days if you want to pick it up. That's there's the back of it. Next one here, Hugo's House of Horrors. I managed to pick this up on sort of sale for about. This is actually there's actually 3 here. The whole trilogy. For about $2 each. This one's a bit different. It's actually like basically a text adventure. You'd walk around, type in various commands, look at this, pick this up, talk to people and stuff. This was quite different to other things I'd sort of played at the time. Sometimes you'd use the right words to get the game to work out what you're trying to do. Sometimes I got stuck and, later in the internet days, I'd look up, what I was trying to do to get past it. So here's the first one. And then there's Hugo 2, Who Done It? Bit of a mystery there. And later, Hugo 3, Jungle of Doom. So yeah, the 3 Hugo games are there. Then we move on to the original Duke Nukem. Really enjoyed this one. Basic sort of a 2D side scroller. But yeah, just really well made. Lots of big levels, lots of varied things, very colourful. Lots of little secret places to go to, and then later I had sort of fun kind of speed running it, sort of just sort of seeing how fast I could sort of get from the start to the end. I'm not quite sure what any world records for these days, but no, I used to just enjoy sort of casually speedrunning that. And then we sort of move on to Duke Nukem 2. So this one you sort of see is a bit different. This bit of a different style. It's just fully artwork on the front here by some different people. On the back, you've only got one screenshot, and that's a bit lame. It's just the loading screen. So once again, you've got the paragraph or so about various stuff, and it says it's from Apogee, so that's basically a seal to tell you it's worth playing. But I guess just from playing the first one, I knew that I wanted to play this. Feels a bit different, of course, and I know just personally I preferred the first one to the second, even though the second, when it's got quite a bit more variety and stuff. But I know just maybe nostalgia. I enjoyed the first one more than the second one. All right, then we're moving on to Halloween Harry, or AKA was later called Alien Carnage. But yeah, as you see, Halloween Harry here. This one was a bit different. You had various weapons. You'd sort of go around sort of fighting off various sort of zombies, and I think saving people and things. And as you see here, there's a little jetpack. So you had a flamethrower that also doubled as the ammo for a jetpack. So it was quite fun trying to fly around when you're running out of fuel. So you're sort of flying up a bit, then you'd fall down, then you have to keep trying to tap the button to move up. But this was quite a good one. And here we go. On the back, you see here, look at that, $19.95. So, then of course moving on to Commander Keen, or Episode 4, Goodbye Galaxy. Back then I didn't actually realise there was a Commander Keen 1, 2 and 3. I'd never heard or seen anything about them, but I did know that this was on one of our school computers back in the day, so a lot of people sort of played it, and the way it worked out, every now and again I might get a turn myself, but to get a chance to sort of pick this up and play it just for myself, and to run around it without sort of time constraints was a big thing. And of course, this is one of my first id games. Really enjoyed this, of course. Definitely one of my favourites from these days. Oops. Yep. Then we move on to actually another epic game, Zargon. Quite well, most of these sort of 2D platformers are mostly the same, but it just sort of felt like it had a few different things at the time, so I enjoyed this one. And I think this is actually freeware too, if you're looking for it. Then we move on to possibly one of the worst ones, and this is into the 3D shooters now. But you see, this is Watch Out Hugo enthusiasts. So that Hugo's House of Horrors before this is that same storyline into a sort of looks like the Wolfenstein 3D style engine. Well, probably not that, maybe not the exact engine, but that sort of style of things. But a bit of a horrible game to play, actually. You'd sort of go out and get killed before you know what's happening, and I think I managed to use using save games to get my way through it, but it's just really painful to play, really. Then we move on to the famous Wolfenstein 3D. So this was one that was on at the end of my primary school days, a sort of a computer, and it was probably the biggest game at the time. So really had a lot of fun here, and then of course, similar to Commander King, when I had a chance to get it for myself, had a lot of fun, exploring, and then trying to get to 100%. You get all your kills, all your secrets, all your treasure. Just a lot of time and a lot of fun spent here. I remember, you see Hans Gross here, there'd be people that this was sort of like a kind of a two-player game. You'd have one person controlling it, and then another person just pressing the cheat codes, to get more life and ammo, just sort of standing point blank with him, trying to shoot him. It was just I know that's what people did when we were sort of at that age. And then we sort of move on to Spear of Destiny, which was the expansion for Wolfenstein 3D. So after having Wolfenstein 3D, enjoying it a lot, having 10 levels of that in the shareware. This only had 2 levels, but when I turned this over and I saw it was more Wolfenstein, I just had to have it, even though it's only here we go with 2 level version. But that was exciting enough for me at the time. Then we're moving on to here to Ken's Labyrinth. So once again, this is just artwork, but this was Ken Silverman, who went on to make the build engine, which was used for Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, and Blood. So it sort of looks like sort of Wolfenstein 3D, but in some ways it had some features which were sort of advanced compared to some of the other things. Like there was sprites. There was quite a lot of interactive things in it. This was actually later released as freeware, so it's worth, well, if you're a fan of things from that era, you should check it out. The next was definitely one of my favourites from that sort of age of gaming, Blakestone, Aliens of Gold. So this was, to me, well, in a way, what Half-Life did for Quake. This was what it did for the sort of Wolfenstein engine. So instead of just your basic thing where you run, gun, and pick up treasure, this had a whole lot more. You had your informants, just more. Well, there was some more variety of weapons and just more. Had 2 secret levels and bits and pieces. So you've only got only the one screenshot here, but that was good. Now then we're on to Doom, of course, which was this was, of course, this is the last one here, but definitely at its time this was the greatest shareware game I owned. I remember sort of studying the hell out of these screens and then getting a bit confused. Like later you sort of see there's the cacodemon up here, but there was no cacodemon in the shareware. That Lost Souls, nothing there. This is, you got E2M6 here, E3M2, and later E2M2. But yeah, no, I just once again this was this was sort of, well, for that computer I had at the time, it was just the height of gaming. So definitely wanted to kill everything, find all the secrets. One thing that's worth mentioning down here, it says the requirements. It's here a 386 or better. So we had a 486 SX, which didn't have a math coprocessor, but did the job slowly. So a VGA monitor. There's 4 megabytes of RAM. So compared to everything here, this is a beast of a game. I think we only had 4 megabytes, and when we first got it home, it didn't even run. My dad had to sort of spend a bit of time tweaking things just to get it to work. And when it finally did, you'd type in your, Doom, you'd press enter key, and you'd have to wait about 45 seconds for the game to load up, then another 45 seconds just to go in and load a level. But and of course in the background you see the classic, in the actual background, not just some art. Well, it's artwork, but it's of course the kind of the classic image title screen. So that's basically it. But thanks for watching. Cheers.